Hey Fivers, welcome back to another episode of 5 Years to 40, the podcast dedicated to millennials who are talking, thinking, and taking tremendous steps throughout their 30s so they can have a fascinating and fabulous life. My name is Anisha Jones, and I am the host of this podcast. I'm a millennial who likes to talk a lot, and our conversations are usually around 4 pillar topics. We talk about careers, we talk about relationships, we talk about finances, and we talk about our health and wellness. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, please be sure to go ahead right now and subscribe and like the video. And for all my Fivers who are back, welcome. I'm so glad that you got to come on to this episode. Also remember to share the information, share the podcast, subscribe, and let's get the word out about this podcast. Today, we're going to be continuing conversations on change. All of January 2021, we spoke about ways we can make change, things to look out for when we are making changes in our careers. And I will leave in the description of this episode the links to earlier episodes about change. Today, though, we're going to be talking about some of the ways, or some of the things that keep us from making those changes. Because while we're amped up and fired up, this is January, so we should be like really sunk into what we're doing. I hope you've gone ahead and made sure you've gotten your goals written down. Or if you haven't, then you have an idea, a framework of what you want to be doing and achieving for 2021. And if you haven't, at least you should have decided the things that you are going to change, and I've created a wonderful free download that you can use to shape your thoughts around that. And so it's available on Instagram, so be sure to follow me on Instagram as well, 5 years to 40. And you can download that sheet and just script out the 3 things that you want to see changes in your health, in your career, in your finances, in your relationships. It's a great guide that you can keep so that in June, when we take a little flashback to see where we are, how we're doing, we can say, okay, I am smashing. I am keeping away from the things I said I would keep away from. I'm making these changes. It's good to reinforce that for yourself. So for your own good, and so that we can have something to really authentically celebrate, please be sure to download that free form and make the declarations that you're going to change, and so you can stick to it. And of course, all the information on this channel is geared to help you achieve the things that you want to achieve, because we're here for each other. We're here for each other like candy. I see you. Anyhow, let's go ahead and talk about change and why sometimes change is hard. Well, listen guys, change, even when change is good, change is hard. Like, even when if you get up every morning and you run for 20 minutes and you work out and you eat good and you switch out macaroni pie for a salad, that when you do that, you're going to be losing weight, getting your snatched figure back, and being all buff and everything if you're a guy, whatever it is. But still, let us be hard, because sometimes you just want a little piece of pie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that happens. But so the very nature of change is that sometimes change is just really hard. So we understand that. We spoke about ways what to expect, and now we're just going to talk to you about how you could move past when you find that it's a little difficult. So change is hard for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's hard because you just don't know how to make the change. Like, you decide you want to save, I don't know, $30,000 at the end of the year, and you don't have any experience in financial planning, or you don't have the resources to make that happen, and so the change can't really happen. So change is hard because sometimes you just don't know how to do it. Change could be hard because of lack of discipline. Change could be hard for a number of reasons. But today I want to really zone in on one of the most subtle reasons, and kind of one of the most sinister as well, and that is limiting beliefs. Right? So limiting beliefs is basically anything that you think about or say that keeps you from doing the thing you want to do. Now, limiting belief shows up in different ways. It can show up also as in procrastination. It can show up in fear of success. It can show up in fear of failure. Now, fear of success is a really tricky one, and it's really actually understandable why people let the fear of doing well, keep them from doing well. Because you see, in the years gone by, especially in the days when we used to be, moving in tribes and moving in herds, it would have been very, very dangerous to be somebody outside of the crowd. You needed to be in the crowd because the crowd provided a lot of safety for you. Imagine you in some forest and all around you is wild animals and mammoths and whatever it is they used to have in those days, and you on your own. I mean, you need to have the protection of a crowd around you so that you could actually survive. So our brains are old things. So we still have that in the back of our mind that, we need the approval and validation of others and the validation of and approval of the majority for us to feel safe. And we understand that once we start to succeed, a lot of times success comes with you being, standing out or shining and separating from your tribe, maybe your childhood tribe, maybe the people that you went to school with, maybe the people that you presently congregate with. If you decided to start making strides, sit down, settle down, focus in on what you really want to do, and push out your product, push out your book, push out your music, push out the things that you know is deep inside you and you want to do it. If you really focus on that, you know that some of the people around you really wouldn't even want you to succeed, because deep down we know who for us. We know who really rooting for us from the people who aren't. And sometimes in the back of your head you think, wow, if I really succeed, some people may not be happy about it, so let me just stay with everybody. You have the idea, you have the right answer, you're in a meeting and you have the right answer, you know the right thing to say, but you're like, I'm not going to say anything because maybe that might get me recognition. Deep down you think that you're afraid that the recognition will be bad, but really and truly you're afraid that the recognition will be good. You'll start to be seen, you might get promoted. The people that you usually hang with at work suddenly don't like you because you get promoted and you're like, huh? So all of these things are reasons why people don't go forward and don't make change, because of limiting beliefs. So I explain what limiting belief is now, and now we're going to get into why or how you could just kind of get yourself to move past it. I have to tell you that like change, getting rid of limiting beliefs is something that takes daily maintenance, because remember, a lot of the beliefs we have at this age, we're in our 30s, we've had for 30 plus years, 3 decades, I think, in the same thing. And so now if you really want to go after it, imagine you have to go with the mindset that it's going to take some time. You're going to fall off the wagon sometimes. You're going to get back up all the times, and you're going to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Okay? I can't do the Cardi B. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what she does. No, she does it. Good for her. All right. So let's talk about 4 ways you can move past limiting beliefs. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is to go ahead and get a piece of paper out. You can do that now, or as soon as you finish watching this episode, and as soon as you finish subscribing. But yeah, so you want to go ahead and write down what your limiting belief is. Take some time. And a lot of times we have ideas just swirling around in our head, and we never really take the time to sit down and figure, why is this thing bugging me? Like, what really about is bothering me? So take some time. It's okay. Take some time and figure out, what is that limiting belief? Like, what am I afraid of? What do I believe that I can't, why I believe I can't succeed if I decided to go back to school? Why do I believe I can't succeed if I decided to go into a new relationship? Why do I not believe I can succeed if I decided to finally get my health and wellness correct? Why can't I believe that I can succeed if I decided to go after my savings, make a great goal to save and finally stick to my saving, not get distracted with buying stuff that I don't really need, and make a down payment on my home. Why can't I do that? Like, sit down and figure out, where is it coming from? It takes some time. Be patient and be kind with yourself. This is deep work that we're doing here. But like I always say, we're big people. We can handle this. We've been around for a little while. We're good. So go ahead and write it down and figure out what really is the limiting belief. The other thing you should do is to challenge it. So when you have it written down, it's in front of you on a piece of paper, challenge. Ask yourself, is this true? So if your limiting belief was, I can't ever lose weight because every other time I tried losing weight, I didn't succeed, or the weight came back, ask yourself, is that really true? Was it every single time? Was it that you were doing the exact same things you did when you lost it, or did you change? Was there some consistency? Was there something that at one point made you go off and eat on a tangent? Did you go on a cruise? Eat out everything in the buffet? What was it? What was it that caused you to reach back to the place that you wouldn't want to be? Did you go through something and use emotional eating as a way to get rid of it? Figure out those things, right? But challenge it. Challenge whatever the limiting belief is. And while you're doing that, when you're done doing that, implement some ways to think differently, right? So change what you believe about the situation. And when you're done challenging it, I want you to replace the belief with something better. Like in the episode where I talked about what to expect with change, you have to tell yourself better lies. Like, don't tell yourself, like, I would never finish because I'm so old, going back to school now wouldn't make any sense, or I'm too old to get married, or I'm too old to have kids, or I'm too old. If you really desire to have children, think differently, because first of all, thoughts are things, real things. Whatever you think about, would come to pass, because whatever you believe, good, bad, or ugly, either is true or becomes true. Whatever you believe to be true either is true or it becomes true, because you're creating your reality as you speak. Everything that you do, you're creating it. You understand? So you just have to find a way to replace the old beliefs you had about you not being in a great relationship, about you not meeting the right person, about all the good people be taken. Please, that's not possible. About you not being able to save, about you never be able to own your home, about you never gonna finish school. Forget all that and replace it with thoughts that are aligned with where you want to go. I will have a happy, wonderful, fruitful, sexy relationship. That's your thing. That's what you need to be thinking. I will finish school, yes. And the good thing about it is, by the time you finish school, you'll be able to wear your robe and do your graduation. Because I felt it like all 5 of us who graduated over the last 2 years, especially in the 2020 season. Guys, I'm so sorry that y'all didn't have a graduation where you were able to walk, and I saw some really great attempts from various universities to have something that was, something that would have given that same kind of feeling, and I really applaud those efforts. But for you who still have to graduate, guess what? You'll be walking, COVID will be long gone, we're gonna be cheering you on, and so excited that you finished your degree, your diploma, whatever it is you're taking. So it's not too late. It's never too late. You still got time, and we are looking forward to see what you achieve. So that was the third thing. And the fourth thing is to take action. Now, taking action is a way that you prove to yourself that these limiting beliefs don't have no power over you no more. And I know when you're just getting started, it can be really intimidating when you're trying to make changes and you're trying to do new things. It's really intimidating. So start small. Taking action could be something massive as as signing up or buying a brand new wardrobe because you say you're changing your career this year, so you're dressing for the job that you have. So you go ahead and you buy all your clothes. Good for you, girl. I see you. I see you, no problem. Or it could be you just deciding every day, I'm going to write an affirmation to myself to prove that I am not going back into relationships that are toxic, that I am not entering into any store and spending my money on things that don't have value for me right now. I'm not going to be buying anything else that doesn't support my dreams to own a home. I'm not going to be spending time texting people who don't pour back into me. Like I deserve loving relationships on all levels, with your friends, with your boyfriend, with your husband. So that's what I'm investing in. So I'm not gonna entertain anything that's not that. Like, write affirmations to yourself and use that to guide your actions. And you can also do it by just like whatever it is that you want to take on. Let's say you want to take on school. Start the first assignment and go from there. Remember, the thing about it is that limiting beliefs is deeply rooted in fear. The basic is we have two main emotions. It's either we do things out of love or we do things out of fear. All the things that we do that are good, that brings us joy and peace and happiness and radiance and vibrance, those things are rooted in love. And the things that keep us contorted and twisted up and worried and upset and stressed out and pushing people away or pushing ourselves into situations that we don't need to be are rooted in fear. And so you just need to be able to get past the fear that you have. And a great way of getting past fear is by doing things to make you better. It's like I always talk about competence versus confidence. So you build your confidence by doing things. By just doing. Confidence is built in the doing, because as you do something, you get better at it. Like right now, nobody on this channel have any fear of brushing their teeth. You know how to do it because you've been doing it for 30 odd years, right? Because you don't know beans about that. But think about a child who is 2, who might be a little intimidated about going and brush their teeth because they're still not sure about how to handle it. At one point, that was us, but we built our confidence on brushing our teeth because we built our competence on brushing our teeth. And there's no difference between brushing your teeth and learning how to love yourself properly. There's no difference between brushing your teeth and learning how to cook. There's no difference between brushing your teeth and going back to school and getting your degree with honors, babe. Honors, okay? There's no difference, because all you need to do is to take that action, build your confidence, and become competent in the thing. Simple, right? Now, I hope that this information served you. I am so happy that I'm able to come on here and share this information with you. I really want us to be forging ahead and making these changes to what's a fascinating and fabulous life. I do believe it's something that we can all own and all achieve. And I'm excited to hear about you guys. So I need y'all to send a little DMs and tell me what's going on and tell me the things that you're achieving so we can share it and feature it on the Instagram page. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Okay. And then make sure that you are listening to the podcast, because the audio version is on Apple and it's on Spotify and it's on Anchor. And I'm going to leave the links for those all in the description of this episode. And guys, let me do a quick recap. So just to remind you that if you are affected by limiting belief, the 3 things you can do to make sure you get over that is to write it down. Make sure that you write it down so you could identify what exactly it is. Challenge the belief. Challenge it. Ask, is this really true? Can I not ever lose weight? Can I not ever fall in love? Challenge it. And then the 3rd thing is to replace it with something else. Like, have a different belief. Like, tell yourself that you're blessed and you're highly favored and you will get the job that you desire, and you will get the relationship that you desire, and you will get a degree, baby, and you will walk down with your cape and your gown and your everything when you graduate. Tell yourself that. Like, replace that belief in your head instead of the one you have that you can never finish anything that you get started. And the 4th tip actually was to take action, because we understand that competence is built confidence is built with competence. So the more you do something is the more you feel confident about it, and the more you do, you build on the wins, and you keep doing more and more and more and more. Yeah, and that's how we slay, and that's how we get past the fear, any fear we may have about change, right? So I hope this episode was useful to you. And speaking of change, girl, you see, your girl went ahead. I just went ahead and did a little change, with the hair. I just decided to, change the thing up a little bit. It may or may not have been inspired by Madame Michelle Obama. I love her. I do love Michelle. She's such an inspiration. This is not just a bandwagonist thing. Like, I've loved Michelle for years. Like, when I was doing my master's, one of the very first assignments we had to do was to choose 3 people that inspired us and to do a presentation on why they did. And she was one of the persons that I chose because I always loved her. And when I did the research, she's amazing. She's an amazing woman, She's an amazing Black woman, and I love her. And did you guys know that she made Barack promise to quit smoking so that she would support him to be the president? Like, when he decided to run for president, and he came home and he told her, she made a deal with him. Like, he had to give up smoking for she to tell him it's okay to go ahead and do it. That's a boss negotiator. Yo, I love Michelle Obama is all I'm going to say again. But yeah, so change is good, right? I'm doing a little change here for the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please be sure to let me know the ways you navigate change, the ways that you are able to move past change when you feel any conflict or any tightness or any discomfort with making change in your life. I love hearing from you guys. Please take care of each other. Be safe. Wear your mask and keep doing the most. Good night, guys. Bye. Mwah.